Dame Patricia Routledge, one of the most cherished names in British entertainment, passed away on October 3, 2025, at the age of 96. Known across the world for her portrayal of the iconic hyacinth bucket in Keeping Up Appearances, Dame Patricia's legacy in television and theater is unparalleled. However, behind the public persona, Patricia was a beloved sister, a devoted family member, and a woman whose life was influenced and enriched by the deep bond she shared with her brother, Reverend Kenneth Grahame Routledge. While Patricia's career took her to the heights of fame, Kenneth led a quieter life devoted to faith, service, and family. Yet their lives were intertwined by a shared history, values, and the enduring love that came from their childhood and spiritual upbringing. Kenneth, a priest and a man of great humility, passed away in 1989, but his influence on his sister and their family remains evident in the legacy Patricia leaves behind. Kenneth Grahame Routledge was born in 1927 in Birkenhead, Cheshire, as the eldest of 3 children in the Routledge family. From an early age, it was clear that Kenneth had a deep connection to his faith. His upbringing in a devout family laid the foundation for a life that would be marked by service to others. Kenneth pursued his education at the University of Liverpool, where he earned a degree in English language and literature. This academic journey set him on a path toward ordination in the Church of England, where he would devote much of his life to the ministry. Kenneth's role within the church was not just that of a preacher, but a servant of the people. Throughout his career, he worked tirelessly to minister to the spiritual and emotional needs of his congregation. He earned the position of canon in the church, and his time at various churches, including St. Paul's Cathedral in London, cemented his reputation as a man deeply committed to his faith. His approach to the ministry was one of compassion, and those who knew him spoke of his kindness, humility, and commitment to helping others. Despite the accolades Kenneth received for his service, he never sought the limelight. His life was not defined by public recognition, but by a quiet dedication to others. He was known to be a steady, calm presence in the lives of his parishioners, always ready to listen, to offer guidance, or simply to be there in times of need. For Kenneth, the value of life was measured not by fame or accolades, but by the difference one could make in the lives of others. Although Patricia's career in the entertainment industry brought her international recognition, her relationship with Kenneth was one of deep personal connection. As the youngest of 3 siblings, Patricia often spoke of the close bond she shared with her older brother. While Patricia was making her mark in the theater world, earning accolades for her stage performances, Kenneth's life was deeply embedded in his role as a clergyman. Despite their different paths in life, the Routledge siblings shared a connection that transcended their careers and public personas. Patricia, whose career spanned decades and earned her the title of Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, was known for her sharp wit and impeccable comedic timing. She won the hearts of millions, particularly with her portrayal of Hyacinth Bucket, a role that defined her for many years. Yet, behind the persona of the meticulous and often pretentious Hyacinth was a woman who carried the values of her family, particularly those instilled by Kenneth. Patricia often credited her brother Kenneth with being a steady source of wisdom and guidance throughout her life. In interviews, she spoke fondly of how Kenneth's influence helped shape her views on faith, family, and humility. While Patricia's career took her to the heights of fame, Kenneth's example of selfless devotion to God and others remained a constant anchor in her life. Despite the glitz and glamour of her acting career, Patricia remained deeply rooted in the values her family had instilled in her. For Patricia, Kenneth was the embodiment of these values, steadfast, humble, and kind. He was the one who, without seeking recognition, offered her the most genuine support during her challenging moments, both personally and professionally. Patricia's death in October 2025 marked the end of an era for British television and entertainment. Her contribution to the industry was immeasurable, with Keeping Up Appearances being one of the most beloved sitcoms in British television history. Yet, Patricia's legacy extends far beyond her comedic roles. It is her ability to connect with people on an emotional level that truly made her an icon. Through her diverse roles on stage and screen, she made millions laugh, but she also made them think, feel, and connect with the world in ways that few performers could. Kenneth, though no longer physically present, continues to play a significant role in the life Patricia lived. Kenneth's legacy lives on not in the public accolades, but in the private moments he shared with his sister, in the quiet conversations they had about life, faith, and family. When Patricia found success in her career, it was Kenneth who was always there to share in her joy. And when she faced challenges, it was Kenneth who offered counsel and comfort. Even after his passing in 1989, Kenneth's influence on Patricia was undeniable. His life, one devoted to faith and service, acted as a grounding force for Patricia as she navigated the complexities of her career. While Patricia's public persona may have been one of confidence and sophistication, those who knew her best recognized the soft-spoken strength and wisdom that Kenneth's presence in her life provided. Kenneth never wrote a formal tribute to his sister Patricia, but his life was a tribute in itself. Through his actions, his service, and his unwavering support, he offered his admiration and respect for the woman his sister had become. Kenneth's tribute was in the quiet moments of his life, his prayers for Patricia's well-being, his pride in her accomplishments, and his unwavering belief in the goodness of her heart. For Kenneth, the value of family was immeasurable. In his heart, Patricia was always his little sister, the one he had watched grow and flourish in a world far removed from his own. His tribute to her was not one of words, but of unwavering love and quiet admiration for the person she had become. And in return, Patricia, in her own way, paid tribute to Kenneth through the values she upheld in her personal and professional life. Kenneth's tribute to Patricia is not just in the family memories they shared, but in the spiritual connection they maintained throughout their lives. Kenneth believed that the love between siblings was a reflection of the love between people and God. For him, family was not just a bond, but a divine connection that needed to be nurtured. His faith allowed him to see the beauty in the life his sister had built, and he never ceased to be proud of her. The bond between Patricia and Kenneth was far more than familial. It was rooted in a deep emotional connection. For Kenneth, the love he had for his sister was bound by his faith and his belief in the importance of love and service to others. For Patricia, Kenneth represented the quiet, unwavering support that she could always rely on. Their relationship was not one of grand gestures or public declarations, but of small, meaningful moments that built over the years. Whether it was Kenneth offering her counsel in times of uncertainty or Patricia sharing her triumphs with him, their bond was defined by mutual respect, love, and a shared sense of purpose. Kenneth's death in 1989 left a deep void in Patricia's life, but even in his passing, Patricia felt the presence of his influence. His values, his faith, and his love continued to guide her, just as they had during his life. And as Patricia's career flourished, Kenneth's quiet tribute to her remained, an unspoken message of love and admiration that transcended words. As we remember Dame Patricia Routledge, we must also remember the quiet influence of her brother, Reverend Kenneth Grahame Routledge. Though he may not have sought the spotlight, Kenneth's legacy is no less significant. Through his unwavering commitment to faith, his service to others, and his deep love for his family, Kenneth's life served as a foundation for the woman Patricia became. In the wake of Patricia's passing, we can take solace in knowing that the love they shared continues to live on. Kenneth's tribute to Patricia was not one of grand speeches or public declarations, but in his actions, his service, and his quiet support. As we reflect on Patricia's extraordinary career and her impact on the world, let us also remember the quiet strength of the man who, though unseen by the public, was her greatest supporter and a constant source of love. Kenneth's tribute to his sister was, and always will be, a testament to the power of family, faith, and love. And as we remember both of their legacies, we are reminded that some of the most profound impacts are made quietly, with love, humility, and a commitment to others.